Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. Big victory for traditional Americans. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. Today, the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 that the federal government cannot force small corporations to buy controversial birth control devices for their employees. The so-called Hobby Lobby case pitted liberal America against traditional religious America. The Obama administration wants all corporations to fund things like the morning after pill, which many religious Americans believe is an abortion-inducing medication. By the way, the national media did not report that. They continue to say the Hobby Lobby case is about birth control per se, which it is absolutely not. Anyway, the very disturbing part of the Supreme Court's opinion is that the 4 liberal justices apparently believe that American taxpayers should fund abortions. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Elena Kagan, Sonia Sotomayor, Stephen Breyer voted to uphold the federal mandate. That's hard to believe because religious freedom is a hallmark of the Constitution. If you sincerely believe that abortion is morally wrong, you have a right to opt out. But these 4 justices would deny you that right, absolutely contradicting the Constitution. Again, that's frightening. The other matter decided today by the Supreme Court is that the government cannot force people to join unions. Another amazing intrusion into personal freedom. Again, it was 5-4. The liberal justice believing the Fed should be able to force American workers into a union situation. Talking Points is concerned that if one more liberal Supreme Court justice is appointed, one more, freedom in America will be compromised forever. And you know what? Most Americans do not understand that at all. On a practical basis, what are these 4 liberal judges thinking about? Do they not understand that the Obama administration has screwed up just about everything? Do they not understand that the federal government in Washington is not solving the nation's problems? Yet the 4 justices want to give the feds even more power. It's unbelievable. Tonight, we'll cover the continuing border chaos, which the Obama administration did nothing about for 5.5 years. We'll also cover vicious terrorists in the Middle East declaring a new country, a terrorist country. And what is the president doing about that? Wages for working Americans continue to fall. The economy just lies there. And almost every single major problem in this country is getting worse. Yet 4 members of the Supreme Court want to empower the government even further. So, while traditional Americans have a reason to celebrate tonight because the majority of the Supremes did vote on the side of freedom, there is a cautionary wind blowing. Liberal America, including President Obama, want the federal government to control our lives. Every American should think about that. And that's the memo. Now for the top story tonight, reaction to the Supreme Court rulings today. With us now, the anchor of the Kelly File, Ms. Megyn Kelly, who used to cover the Supreme Court for Fox News. So, you're not surprised about these rulings, are you?
I'm not surprised. No, not at all. And I'm so fascinated to see the reaction from those, I think, on the far left to what happened today in the Hobby Lobby case. I mean, an assault on women, that this is the example of the war on women. Hillary Clinton today came out with some crazy statement comparing the United States to extremist countries, third world countries, because of the Hobby Lobby decision. Why? Because they basically upheld the law Hillary's husband signed into law. I mean, like, Bill Clinton must be part of the extremist third world country experiment.
Yeah, but you know why Mrs. Clinton's doing that. She wants to curry favor. But I just want to run one soundbite from somebody Ms. Megyn is referring to. Hello, Sandra Fluke.
What this is really about at its base is trying to figure out as many ways as possible to limit women's access to reproductive health care.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, my God.
They want to limit everybody's.
It hurts.
You go down to Target and buy for $9 a month.
It doesn't matter how many times you say something. Like, it doesn't matter whether it's true. If she just says it over and over again, people are going to believe it. That's not true. Just don't believe that. She doesn't know what she's talking about.
She doesn't care. She doesn't care to know.
They limited in small corporations, these corporations that are basically 50% of the stock is owned by 5 people or less in a family,
yes.
Right? Those corporations only. And granted, it's about 50% of U.S. corporations, 90% of the U.S. corporations that employs about 50% of the American population. So it's a lot of corporations that could be affected. But only those that feel strongly about their religious beliefs. Those folks aren't going to have to provide abortion-related drugs.
And they'll probably get audited by the IRS when they put in their little waiver.
It's drugs that terminate an already fertilized egg. That's the only, out of the 20 birth control drugs that are available, they still have to cover 16.
Did the media
They just said we don't want to fund those forms of birth control that end a fertilized egg.
Did the media? I listen to
Fox News. That's it.
I listen to CBS Radio Roundup every morning at 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Nope. All birth control. That's what they reported today.
No
CBS
problem.
Radio
Let's
News.
have the debate on the merits. Let's talk about those 4 drugs and whether they should or they shouldn't be covered, or whether Congress should pass a law to make it easier for employees at these companies to sue their bosses. Congress can do that, by the way. They can do that right now.
Why can't they buy their own?
What happened here was they were buying their own for the past 20 years.
That's right.
Beyond, they've been buying their own. And then what happened was we passed Obamacare. And then Kathleen Sebelius had some of her HHS minions go down in the basement and write a regulation that said, as part of Obamacare, you have to cover 20 out of 20 birth control drugs. 20 out of 20.
Yep, all of them.
And then women like Sandra Fluke started saying, I'm entitled. Oh my God, I never realized how victimized I was all those years when I was paying for it on my own. And then Hobby Lobby, which is an evangelical company, came out and said, all right, we'll do it. We'll do it for all of them except for 4 that end fertilized egg going forward, right? They lost their minds. The Supreme Court said, you're right. This law passed by President Clinton that all these Democrats who are now objecting signed on to, also voted for, that law protects you, Hobby Lobby, and Kathleen Sebelius' minions in the basement don't get to take your rights away from you.
That's right.
This is about the attempted war on the religious right, not the war on women.
Okay, now, the bigger picture, though, as I laid out so eloquently,
I thought I was...
no, okay. Is that if one other liberal justice was in play, then it would have been, sorry, Hobby Lobby.
Well, that's always the case. That's always the case.
No. But
yes,
now
it is. Of course, gotten very ideological.
We're closer now than we've ever been, except with the exception of slavery. If you look back in the Supreme Court rulings on slavery, they were an abomination. All right, and they took obviously freedom away from people, black people, and it was awful, and you could not even condone it. That's what's happening now, because we're going to lose our freedoms in this country if one more liberal justice is appointed.
Well, but
one more.
Let me take the contrary view for you here, because yes, when it comes to matters like birth control, women's rights, civil rights, and so on, the court's very, very divided.
Guns.
But let's not forget, we're coming off of a stint here where this court has brushed back President Obama and his overreaches 13 times unanimously, Bill.
Okay,
13
but
times
those are different issues. And here's the difference.
No, they're not. Just last week, they brushed him back on the trying to do recess appointments when Congress wasn't in recess.
But
violation of the separation of powers.
It's a different thing. You're talking about political issues. I'm talking about social issues.
I'm saying the court can come together when the issue is clear enough.
When it's political, but not social. These 4 will never vote against abortion, ever. They will never vote for any kind of gun freedom.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg was general counsel to the ACLU. In her dissent tonight on Hobby Lobby, she was going on and on about how, look, if it's such a big burden for Hobby Lobby, too bad.
Too bad.
Too bad. The women need their birth control. They need it, and they need it for
That's right.
free.
And we have to give it to them, no matter if it involves abortion or not.
That's how she sees the issue.
That's how she sees it. And of course, the founding fathers, poor Ruth Bader Ginsburg, had she been alive back then, would have been on a covered wagon out to Colorado.
The founding fathers weren't really thinking of the IUD. No. When they were drafting the Constitution.
They were thinking about personal freedom. This is what I'm trying to get across to everybody. They were thinking about personal freedom, which is being eroded by these 4 liberal justices. Megyn Kelly, now you have Ayers. Bill Ayers coming up, right?
Yeah.
Now, did you punch him? Did he scream?
Are you feeling jealous about that? Because we run the clip of Waters trying to ambush him.
We ambushed him.
And he wouldn't talk for all these years.
He's not talking to me. But you're much more attractive in many senses than I am. So he'll talk to you. And
yes, it has to do with my attractiveness.
Well, look. He's a guy, is he not?
Are you part of the war on women? You're going to get it, O'Reilly.
On women.
Is this a comment
I'm trying to give you a compliment, which is always impossible. Did you get anything out of the pinhead?
One word for you.
Yes.
Riveting.
Oh, it's riveting.
Hold me to account. If I lied, send me a note. You can have me out back
now
on
we
this
have
week.
to watch it. See, it's very good. You
I promise you.
We have to do it.
I promise you.
Right.
You will not turn away.
Kelly is promising everybody.
We'll have it top of the hour.
Don't try to give her a compliment, everyone. Brit Hume on deck. We'll have political implications of the rulings today by the Supreme Court. Then Bernie Goldberg on